Hey guys, it's Austin here! Nah, I'm just fucking with you. But seriously, if you're under 13, get the fuck out of here. Alright, listen guys, this isn't really my usual content, but I've been saying I was going to do something special for a couple of weeks now, and I finally ended up getting around to that a few days ago. And I'm not going to lie, the video is a little bit messy because I made a lot of mistakes here. I'm not one of those YouTubers that's like, oh yeah, we did everything perfectly. We make mistakes. Realistically, things happen. This is the first time I've ever done something like this, so I found a bunch of interesting things out. And if you guys would like me to share those with you, let me know. If you want this to be more of a tutorial type video, let me know, because I do plan on doing this again. Alright, so starting things off, I've got everything I want to hydro dip disassembled. The main things we're going to be doing are 2 Xbox controllers, a Nintendo 2DS, and a couple of other random things. I've already got everything disassembled here because, listen, you guys don't want to watch me fumble around with the 2DS for like an hour. That thing's kind of complicated to take apart. Seriously, my disassembly video would be terrible. But you can watch somebody like Spawnwave's disassembly video. I'll link it in a card somewhere up, down, somewhere in the video. That's only for people who really want to follow along with this. But if you wanted to do that, you'd kind of be crazy. Because like I said, I can put out a more formally put together video, but this one is kind of messy. Not exactly what I'd call a tutorial. So, that being said, let's give everything a quick coat and then hydro dip it. Fuck. I'm not gonna lie guys, I'm kind of retarded. You're also gonna want to make sure that you have the right color of paint. Alright, before you actually get started though, you're gonna want to make sure you have a few things. Mainly, paper towel or at least something to get the paint off the surface of the water. And you're also going to want some tape so that you can dip your parts into the water without having to touch any of them. Now, I don't know if you guys can see that, but when you clear the paint off the top of your water, it accumulates onto the sides of the container. And after a while, that starts to seep back out as a kind of colored oil, so you really have to clear off the water fairly often if you're going to be doing different colors. And it's very important to tape things before you dip them so you don't get your greasy, grubby fucking fingers all over everything like I did. And because of that, a couple of pieces that would have come out alright came out pretty fucked up. Also, this is why you guys want to wear gloves for this, because I don't know if you can see this, it's turning into like really rubbery, silicone-y type plastic. It's very sticky. And you want to change your gloves quite frequently so that you don't get different colors of paint all over everything you're painting. And this is also why you'd want to use paper towel and not gloves to scrape the paint off the top of your water. But you know what? That's enough talking. Let's just get into it. Alright guys, I'm not gonna lie, after yesterday, I wasn't exactly satisfied with what we got. It was good, but it wasn't great. I feel like we can do better. So I've decided to continue on into the next day, making a couple changes, mainly a new container to paint things in. And yesterday I completely forgot to mention that you're probably gonna want one of these. Or you could just not be an idiot like me and paint outside instead of inside. Alright, here's something really interesting you might be asking yourself. You might be asking, well, what kind of spray paint should I use? From what I've seen, most brands will work fairly well, but you're going to be able to tell pretty quickly whether or not your paint is actually good. Because if it's not, it'll pretty much immediately turn into plastic on the top of the water, and you'll see it bunch up in a really weird way. And as soon as you spray your other color on top of it, it won't make a hole in the middle like it usually does. It'll just spray on top of it like you're spray painting onto a solid surface. Alright, let's try this again. Looking at the finished product, we definitely have some imperfections here. Like I said, there's a lot of things I learned while doing this, but there's still a whole lot of things I'm not so sure about. Like these bubbles. I'm not 100% sure what caused them. I have a couple of ideas, but not 100% sure. What I can say based on the fact that this is a pretty consistent thing that happened with me is that you don't have to pick white as your base coat. What I would recommend is using a base coat that's not too dark but will still show up nicely through your paint if it does end up showing up. But when you're deciding that, be very mindful of the colors you're going to dip it in, because it may just fuck everything up. I think the real question on everyone's mind though is, does it still work? And yeah, it does. What I can say now is that you guys definitely don't want to paint the buttons unless you want to leave this thing as a display piece, because it is extremely difficult to use any of them. And I'd imagine if you actually wanted to use this thing, regardless of if you gave it a clear coat or not, you'd still be getting a lot of fingerprints and a lot of wear into that thing. And whatever paint job you gave it wouldn't last long. Another thing I've noticed is that if you spray your paint on the water too thickly and then leave it on to dry for a second, it'll actually clump up on the item you're hydro dipping, leaving a really thick, ugly coat on it. The pieces that got dipped properly actually look fairly nice. The problem is a lot of them didn't dip properly. And there's a lot of things that I didn't get to cover in this video. Like I said, I'm not 100% happy with how the results turned out here, and I think we can do better. If you guys want this to be more of a tutorial style video and a how-to style video, let me know, because I wanted to keep this kind of short. There was a lot of material to cover, and it was going to be kind of dry and boring. That is gonna do it for me today, guys. Be sure to like it if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. That would really help out. Also, if this video gets 50 likes, I'll do an actual tutorial on how to hydro dip a Nintendo Switch. No buttons next time, though. As always, stay safe, and remember, we didn't domesticate cats. Cats domesticated us.